Mini-Cake TV back at it again. This time a 32 gigabyte Recalbox. Even more systems. I think this is rocking over 40 systems. And some of the collections are much more complete. Like example, Neo Geo having all the Metal Slugs. A couple of the PSP, more Dreamcast, way more Nintendo 64, 100 versus 90. This one is not overclocked to start. It is a 1.2 gigahertz. I thought it was, but it's actually 1.2, but you can get it to 1.3 very easily. Iron Man themed, as you're going to see with the introduction video and the theme itself. I like the theme much better than the 16 gigabyte. Overall, I like this image way more than the 16 just because of the game collections, new systems, things like that. But you can be the judge. Let's go ahead and check this one out so you can see the differences.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am J.A.R.V.I.S, a virtual artificial intelligence, and I'm here to assist you with a variety of tasks as best I can, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Importing all preferences from home interface. Systems are now fully operational.
So the Mini-Cake TV, bringing out another one. This time it's a 32 gigabyte. It's actually using 25 out of 27 gigabytes on this 32 gigabyte SD card. I'm running it on the SanDisk Select Class 10 card. Version 18.02.09. Something I had to do when I first booted up was A, add my controller, 2, hit start, go down 1, hit system settings, go down 3, just language, click this. It was on Francis before. Change it to English. And close, and it'll ask to reboot. Go ahead and reboot. The other thing I did was I lowered my volume a little bit and I turned off the front end music. There is music pre-installed on this image. Once you're at that point, you're going to be exactly like you see here with this beautiful J.A.R.V.I.S Iron Man themed image. It even has that custom boot screen which you saw earlier in the video. So if you're an Iron Man fan, look no further. I'm not necessarily a fan of this screen right here. I like the artwork and everything else and how it's displayed. I just think that the background's a little bit busy with the system in the upper right and all these little schematics and everything else going on. You can barely see the rating system in the lower right. It's kind of, is that part of the background? Is that the rating system? So, you know, as I scroll through, it's just, I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's fine. I definitely like the font. It's at least readable. And, you know, I like the neon, you know, as you see in my introduction video, I like neon signs. So that part I like. Anyways, that's enough of what I think about the aesthetics. You can make your own decision there. As far as the systems, you're going to see it's crazy. There's about 40 different systems on here. Not all systems have the full ROM sets on here, but they have some good games nonetheless. So let's get this started. Vectrex, 44 games. So some of you people that like the old school, we got 44. Virtual Boy, we got 22. This is the same as the 16 gigabyte I reviewed earlier. Wonder Swan, same as 16 gig at 105. Same in the color, not 89. But this is new, the Sharp 68000. This is a computer-based system. You are going to have to set up like the hard boot off the disk. It shouldn't be that hard though. You can go to the wiki page if you need help. Sinclair ZX81, the black and white Sinclair. So really old school there. And then the Sinclair ZX Spectrum definitely has some cool titles on there as well. Rockin' 63. You do have your favorites. Here are some of his favorite games. Dragon Ball Z, Donkey Kong's, Galaxian, James Bond, Metal Slug, Pac-Man, Smurfs, Space Invaders, Taz, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Tetris, The Terminator from Sega CD. Moving along, another system that's not on the 16 gig, the Amiga 1200. There actually isn't 174 games in here. There's some duplicates in here. I'd actually say it's probably closer to 80 games in here. Rise of the Robots. This looks a lot like Pepsi Man. What's going on there? Looks like some copyright infringement. RoboCop 1, 2, and 3. Amiga 600, similar story to Amiga 1200. It's not actually 83 titles total, but there's probably at least 40 or so. You got Aladdin, nice. Amstrad CPC 184. There's 184 or so titles here. Nice to see. Atari 2600 475, 7800 58, and nice to see Atari ST, which is not on the 16 gigabyte, 275 of these. So nice to see. Commodore 64 142, Cave Story. You just have the one game and then the config file. Coleco 139. Dreamcast 4. You got Crazy Taxi, Capcom 2 versus Marvel, Mortal Kombat Gold, Mr. Driller. And this is running overclocked. You can see that in advanced settings. Oh no, this one is actually stock clock. Okay, to start. So the Crazy Taxi that I'm playing later in this game is only at the regular clock. So you'd actually get even better performance if you overclocked it. So Final Burn, regular 113, but then there's the Libretto Core 538, and that's set up in folders here, as you see, like CPS1. There's all your CPS1 games, CPS2. There's all your CPS2 games. So a lot more organized on the Final Burn Alpha front than the 16 gigabyte. Family Computer Disk System 257, Sega Game Gear 248, Game Boy 476, Game Boy Color 863. So similar to the 16 gig here on the portables. Game Boy Color 487, Game & Watch 53, Atari Lynx 75, MAME only 630. This is similar. Favorite games again: Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Superman, Space Invaders, Space Harrier. Sega Master System 64, Sega Mega Drive only 335, so a little lacking on the Genesis side, but still going to have a lot of your favorites on here. MSX split up between MSX1 and 2. MSX1 we have 552, MSX2 79, Nintendo 64 quite a few more titles, rocking over 100 this time. I'll play some of these in a little later and check those out as well. Neo Geo, you finally have the whole collection here, which is nice. Nintendo, whole collection, 715 or close to it. Neo Geo Pocket 9, Neo Geo Pocket Color 19. Odyssey 2, 135. PC Engine, again, there's some duplicates here, but still about 100 or more titles there. PC Engine CD-ROM, just it only has this Dragon Ball Z. Doom game, PSP, a couple more on here. Dragon Ball Z's were added with Darius from the last image. PlayStation, 11 games, some hidden, but X-Men vs. Street Fighter, Tomb Raider 3, Tekken 3, Rampage 1 and 2, Metal Gear Solid, Dragon Ball Z 1 and 2. Sega 32X, 24, so I'm missing about 6 of those. Sega CD, just the Terminator. SG 1000, 64, Super Graphics 5, and then we're back at Vectrix 44. Here's going to be your Super Graphics, and then I want to check out these Nintendo 64s over here really quick. So this is cool that this is running. Kill some, what are they firing at? Oh, there it is. Booyah! Okay, that's actually running, and again, this is on 1.2. If I went up to 1.3, this game would run a lot better.
Yeah, we gonna have some fun. Hey, it's time to make some crazy money. Are you ready? Here we go. At your service.
All right, this is working pretty good. You got your analog sticks, your buttons, your bumpers are going to be your. Let's see if we can go off this. Oh, we missed it. Watch out! Watch out! Nice. We got some money. We got a tip. What's the best dollar signs? The green, right? Come on in, buddy. A little bit of lag. This is totally playable, though. Street to San Francisco, baby. You want to get as close to the other cars as possible and make some tips. Nice. Jumping over cars. Nice. Let's go between these two. Oh, drifting. Nice, we're making that De Niro now. So the music's all messed up, as you hear. Let's see if we can go off this jump right here. Yeah. Watch out, I'm driving here. Oh, he loved that. My passenger was in love right there. Not in love now, though. Where am I supposed to go here? We made it. All right. That's actually running really well. So Crazy Taxi, running beautiful. So there you have it. This is another mini cake TV build, this time the 32 gigabyte. I much prefer this theme. I much prefer this collection of games. So if you have the choice between the 16 and the 32, I highly recommend the 32 over the 16. It has additional systems. I think we're up to 40 plus systems on here, especially for those people that like those old PC style games, you know, the Amiga, the Amstrad, the Commodore. These games are classics. They might be a little old for some of you people, but it's nice to check them out, see where the roots of gaming came from. Also, in some of the older systems like Nintendo 64, Neo Geo, you're going to get a lot more titles, and I think these games are important, especially like Neo Geo. Like, what a great system with a great collection. So I'm going to have to give this one an A-. It's definitely better than the 16 gig I reviewed earlier. I think the theme is decent. If you're into Iron Man, I think you're gonna love this theme. I'm not a huge Iron Man fan. The thing I don't like about it is just how busy these pages are right here. But I like the eclecticness of the image itself. It's really, like I said, 40 plus consoles or so. So really cool in those regards. I'm loving these Recalbox images. I'm really liking Recalbox as a whole, just because it's so easy to use. I like that you can turn on and off the music so easily, change the language so easily. A lot of it doesn't require any terminal or command prompt, whatever you want to call it, to do any decoding or changes. So it definitely has some advantages. There's also definitely some disadvantages, some things that I don't necessarily like missing some of the games. And the busyness of the theme. But other than that, there was definitely a lot of pros here, as I said earlier. But that's what I think. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll catch you on the next one.